God says. He wants to talk to you for 2 minutes right now, because your pending miracle has been approved. If you open this immediately before 11:59 p.m., you will receive great news. But if you skip, you'll lose. My child, do not scroll past these words, because what is about to happen in your life has already been prepared in heaven, and the delay that has been hurting your heart is coming to an end sooner than you think. I am calling you right now because the answer you cried for in silence is no longer being ignored, and the breakthrough you almost stopped believing in has finally been released with your name attached to it. The enemy tried to convince you that nothing would change, but I brought you here at this exact moment because I refuse to let you miss what I have approved for your future. Stay here for these next moments, because what you hear tonight can shift your entire direction before this day ends. Type Amen if you still believe God is working. You have spent many nights wondering why your prayers seemed delayed while other people around you moved forward with ease. But I tell you now that I was not ignoring your tears. I saw every moment you felt forgotten. Every time you pretended to be strong while your heart quietly broke behind closed doors. The miracle that is now approaching your life was being protected from forces that wanted to destroy it before it reached you. What is pending in your life is not small, and that is why the battle around it became intense. I brought you here before this hour passes, because heaven wanted your spirit awake before the news arrives. Do not treat this moment lightly, because your blessing is closer than the pain that tried to bury your hope. I know you almost gave up during the last season, and I know there were moments when you wondered if I still remembered your name. I remembered every prayer you whispered while tears rolled down your face in the dark. I remembered the promises you repeated to yourself while everything around you looked uncertain and unstable. If this touches your heart, take a second to like this video, because someone else also needs this reminder before their faith disappears completely. You are not hearing these words by accident, because I arranged this encounter at the exact time your soul needed strength. There is a reason your spirit felt restless today, and there is a reason you kept searching for comfort even while trying to distract yourself from your worries. I have already moved pieces into place behind the scenes, and people who doubted your future will soon witness what I prepared in silence. The approval connected to your miracle has already been signed in the spiritual realm, and the waiting season is beginning to crack apart. What looked delayed was actually being aligned at the perfect time for your protection. The reason I asked you not to skip is because your heart has been under attack from discouragement, fear, and exhaustion for far too long. The enemy wanted you distracted tonight because he knows what is approaching your life carries restoration, healing, and unexpected favor. He wanted you to believe that your opportunity had already passed, but I am telling you now that your greatest testimony is still ahead of you. You are standing close to a moment that can change your family, your peace, your finances, and your confidence all at once. This is not the end of your story, and I refuse to let darkness speak louder than my promise over your life. I know you have grown tired of waiting for answers while carrying burdens nobody fully understands. You smiled in front of people while secretly asking me if your breakthrough would ever arrive. You kept showing kindness even while fighting private battles that drained your strength every day. I watched your endurance, and I watched you continue trying even when disappointment surrounded your mind. That faith was not wasted because I was building something greater than you could see during those painful moments. There are people who walked away from you because they assumed your season would never change, but they do not understand what happens when I decide to move suddenly in someone's life. They judged your delays without knowing I was preparing a miracle too large to happen carelessly. I was protecting your future while you struggled to understand the silence around you. What I am bringing into your life now will make the waiting period meaningful instead of pointless. The same people who ignored your pain will soon witness the peace and favor resting on your life. Type 777 to receive blessings. Tonight is important because your heart stands at a crossroads between fear and trust. One voice keeps telling you to stop believing because too much time has passed, but my voice is calling you to remain steady for just a little longer. The breakthrough connected to your name has already started moving, even if your eyes cannot fully see it yet. There are conversations happening that you know nothing about, and there are doors quietly opening while you assume nothing is changing. I have been working in hidden places where human eyes cannot interfere with my plans for you. The reason I wanted your attention before this night ends is because your spirit needed confirmation before the enemy filled your mind with more doubt. Too many times you allowed fear to speak louder than my promises, and too many times you carried tomorrow's worries before tomorrow even arrived. I did not create you to live trapped in panic and hopelessness. I created you to walk with confidence, knowing that my hand is still over your future, even during uncertain seasons. The miracle attached to your life is not cancelled, forgotten, or delayed forever. But I tell you now that the delay did not destroy your miracle because I protected it during the season when you were too weak to protect yourself. The approval over your blessing was never removed, even when fear tried to convince you otherwise. What if attracting wealth didn't require hard work, just the right words? This forgotten prayer is now transforming ordinary people into debt-free, financially free individuals. Scientists say each of these 9 words activates a hidden abundance center deep in your brain. People are using it from home and seeing results in just weeks. It was never meant for the public, and now that it's out, the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You have been walking through a season where almost everything tested your endurance at the same time. Your emotions felt heavy, your confidence weakened, and some days it became difficult for you to stay hopeful about the future. I watched you continue moving forward while silently carrying pain that nobody else fully noticed. I saw the tears you wiped away before anyone could ask what was wrong. I heard every quiet prayer you whispered when you thought nobody cared anymore. The enemy wanted exhaustion to become your identity because he understood how close you truly are to breakthrough. He tried to fill your mind with disappointment so you would stop expecting good things from me. That is why so many negative thoughts surrounded you recently, especially during quiet moments when you were alone with your fears. But I am speaking directly into your spirit tonight because I refuse to let hopelessness take control over your future. The news coming toward your life will not carry sorrow forever because a new chapter is already beginning to form around you. Type 1111 if you walk by faith. You keep asking yourself why this season became so difficult when all you wanted was peace, stability, and reassurance from heaven. The truth is that your future carries more purpose than you realize, and the attacks against your mind increased because darkness recognized what was being prepared for you. The enemy fights hardest against people who still carry purpose after pain. He wanted you distracted before your miracle arrived because he knew your testimony would inspire other broken people to believe again. But I kept holding you steady, even during the moments when your strength felt completely gone. There are blessings being arranged around your life that cannot be stopped by the opinions of others. People may have underestimated you because they only saw your struggles, but they could not see the spiritual preparation happening behind closed doors. They did not know that I was teaching you endurance while also positioning your future at the right time. Some of the closed doors that hurt you were actually protecting you from entering places that would have damaged your destiny. What felt like rejection was often my protection, guiding you away from pain you could not yet recognize. You are entering a season where confusion will slowly be replaced with clarity. The things that once kept you awake at night will begin losing power over your emotions. I am calming the storm inside your heart before I fully reveal the breakthrough outside your life. Your peace matters to me because I never intended for you to live under constant fear and emotional exhaustion. I am teaching you how to trust me even before every answer becomes visible. There were moments when you believed your opportunities had already passed you by, especially after seeing others receive blessings while your own situation remained unchanged. But your timing has not expired, because my plans for your life were never based on human schedules. I know exactly when to release what belongs to you, and I know how to bring restoration into places that seemed permanently broken. The waiting season may have wounded your confidence, but it did not cancel your future. I still have the final word over your story, and that word is filled with hope instead of defeat. You have carried silent battles inside your heart for far too long. Some wounds came from betrayal, while others came from disappointments that slowly drained your joy. You tried to remain strong for everyone else, while privately wondering when someone would finally comfort you. I was beside you during every lonely moment, even when my presence felt distant to your emotions. I never abandoned you during the nights when you felt forgotten by the world. Type 222 if you trust God. The reason I keep reminding you not to skip these words is because your spirit needs courage before the breakthrough fully appears. Fear has spoken loudly around you for too many months, and discouragement tried to become permanent inside your thoughts. But I am interrupting that darkness with truth, because I need you to remember who walks beside you. You are not abandoned, cursed, or ignored by heaven. You are still chosen, protected, and deeply loved by the one who created you. The approval connected to your miracle is not only about material blessings, it is also about emotional healing, restored confidence, and renewed peace within your soul. I am healing the parts of you that became tired from pretending everything was fine. I am restoring the hope that disappointment tried to steal from your spirit. The breakthrough approaching your life is meant to rebuild what fear and pain slowly damaged over time. What I release into your future will not only bless your circumstances, but also strengthen your heart. Do not allow temporary delays to convince you that permanent defeat has been written over your life. I am still opening doors that nobody can close, and I am still capable of changing situations faster than human understanding can explain. The people who counted you out do not understand how quickly I can shift a person's season. One moment can completely change the direction of your future when my favor moves into place. Stay close to me during this season because your testimony is still being written. I know your heart became tired from carrying responsibilities while receiving very little encouragement in return. Some days you felt invisible, even while trying your best to help everyone around you. You wondered if anyone truly noticed the sacrifices you kept making in silence. I noticed every act of kindness, every prayer, and every effort you made while struggling internally. Nothing you endured with faith was wasted in my hands. There are certain things I delayed because your spirit first needed healing before the blessing arrived. If some doors had opened earlier, the emotional pain you carried might have destroyed your ability to sustain what I wanted to give you. I was preparing your heart while also preparing the opportunity itself. The waiting period was not punishment, because it carried purpose hidden beneath the struggle. Even now, you are stronger, wiser, and more spiritually aware than you were before this difficult season began. Why are neuroscientists calling this a wealth trigger? Because over 19,547 people are already using this 9-word password, and their lives are changing fast. Unexpected deposits, cleared debts, a completely upgraded lifestyle. Scientists say it taps into a 150 million-year-old brain system that controls abundance and financial flow. It's already changed the lives of thousands in just weeks. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. The next chapter of your life will not look like the previous one. I am bringing restoration into areas where you expected permanent disappointment. I am rebuilding confidence where fear once ruled your thoughts. I am placing peace into the same heart that spent too many nights overwhelmed with anxiety. You may not fully understand everything happening yet, but heaven is still moving carefully around your future. I saw the emotional exhaustion that nobody else recognized because you became skilled at hiding your pain behind forced smiles. But even during those hidden battles, I was still holding your future together with my hands. You keep wondering why your breakthrough has taken so long to arrive, while other people seem to move forward without resistance. What you could not see is that the blessing connected to your life required preparation beyond what your human eyes could understand. Some miracles are delayed because they carry greater purpose than temporary comfort. I was arranging details around your future while also protecting you from things that would have destroyed your peace later. What seemed like silence was actually careful preparation taking place behind closed spiritual doors. There are people around you who underestimated your future because they judged you by your current struggles. They assumed your difficult season represented the end of your story, instead of understanding it was only a painful chapter. They spoke about your delays as if your life had already failed. But I tell you now that human opinions have never had authority over the plans I created for you. The approval connected to your miracle did not come from people, and that is why nobody can permanently block what I have already decided to release. Type yes to affirm your breakthrough. The enemy wanted you emotionally drained before this new season arrived because he understood how powerful your testimony would become. He knew that once you recognized my hand moving in your life again, your confidence would begin returning stronger than before. That is why discouragement surrounded your thoughts so heavily during recent months. Fear kept whispering that nothing would change because darkness hoped you would stop expecting goodness from me. But I am speaking into your spirit again tonight because your hope still matters and your future is still alive with purpose. You are not too broken for restoration, and you are not too late for blessings. I know you made mistakes during moments of weakness, and I know there were seasons when your faith became inconsistent because of emotional pain. But my mercy has not abandoned you because of your struggles. I still see the good inside your heart, even when you feel disappointed in yourself. My love for you did not disappear during your lowest moments, and my plans for your future are still standing strong. The miracle that has been approved over your life is connected to more than one area of your journey. It reaches into the places where you felt emotionally exhausted, financially pressured, spiritually confused, and mentally overwhelmed. I am restoring balance to the parts of your life that felt unstable for too long. I am rebuilding confidence where rejection weakened your spirit. I am bringing peace into areas where anxiety once controlled your thoughts every single day. You kept asking why you felt such unusual pressure lately, and the answer is because change is approaching your life. Spiritual pressure often increases before breakthrough begins to appear. Darkness becomes louder when heaven starts moving closer to your situation. The enemy feared this moment because he knew your season of surviving was slowly turning into a season of restoration. He wanted you distracted before the good news arrived. But I kept calling your attention back to me. There are conversations happening right now that you know nothing about, and opportunities are quietly forming behind the scenes. Doors you assumed were permanently closed are beginning to unlock at the right time. I am placing your name before people who can help move your future forward. I am creating pathways that did not exist before this season began. Even when your eyes cannot fully see the movement, heaven is already active around your situation. Type 1212 if you trust in Jesus. You have spent too much time carrying guilt over things I already forgave. The enemy keeps reminding you about your past because he hopes shame will stop you from walking confidently into your future. But I did not bring you this far just to leave you trapped in regret forever. Your past mistakes are not stronger than my ability to restore your life. I am still capable of rebuilding broken dreams and renewing hearts that became tired from disappointment. I know there were moments when loneliness hurt you deeply. You wanted support, understanding, and comfort, but instead you often felt emotionally isolated. Some people only stayed close while things were convenient, and others disappeared when your struggles became too heavy. But their absence did not mean you were abandoned by heaven. I remained beside you during every painful moment, even when you could not feel my presence clearly. I never stopped listening to your prayers, even during the nights when silence surrounded you. Your tears were never wasted because every painful experience shaped strength inside your spirit. The suffering you endured taught you compassion for other hurting people. The delays taught you patience and endurance that success alone could never create. The heartbreak taught you how valuable peace truly is. Even your difficult seasons carried lessons that will help prepare you for the blessing now approaching your life. I need you to stop speaking defeat over your future, because your words carry weight over your emotions and expectations. Too many times you declared hopelessness before giving me room to move. You allowed fear to become louder than faith inside your thoughts. But tonight I am reminding you that your situation can still change suddenly. I am still the God who opens impossible doors and restores what looked permanently broken. A leaked 9-word password is quietly transforming people's financial lives. More than 19,000 people have already used it to attract wealth, freedom, and peace. People are using it daily from their couch and reporting real financial breakthroughs. Scientists say it activates deep brain pathways linked to money, working far faster than traditional methods. This was once hidden by elites, and now it's spreading too fast. But the government could take down this secret any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. The reason this moment before the end of the night matters so much is because your spirit needed confirmation before the breakthrough appears physically. I wanted you strengthened before the good news arrives, because blessings are easier to recognize when faith is alive. Do not let exhaustion blind you from the movement happening around your life. Your waiting season is not endless, and your story is not ending in sorrow. I am leading you toward restoration even now. There are blessings connected to your obedience during this season. Every time you chose to keep believing despite disappointment, your spirit became stronger. Every time you prayed while feeling weak, heaven heard you clearly. Every moment you resisted giving up completely mattered more than you realize. Your persistence through pain has not gone unnoticed in my eyes. I honor the faith you continued carrying even during your darkest hours. You are entering a season where peace will slowly replace confusion. The heaviness inside your heart will not remain forever because healing has already started touching your spirit. I am calming your mind while also arranging the future ahead of you. There will be moments soon when you look back at this painful season and realize I was protecting you more than you understood at the time. What felt delayed was often divine timing, preparing the right conditions for lasting blessings. I saw the pressure resting on your shoulders while you continued pretending to be fine for the sake of everyone around you. Even when nobody else understood the heaviness in your spirit, I remained beside you through every painful moment. I never stopped watching over you, even during the nights when you believed heaven had gone silent. You have been fighting battles that people around you know nothing about. Some struggles were emotional, Some were financial, and others were spiritual attacks meant to weaken your confidence little by little. The enemy hoped exhaustion would eventually convince you to give up before your miracle arrived. He wanted you distracted, discouraged, and emotionally empty before the breakthrough connected to your life became visible. But I kept protecting your spirit because your story is not ending in defeat the way fear tried to convince you. There is a reason you feel this deep stirring inside your heart tonight. Your spirit recognizes that change is getting closer, even if your physical circumstances still look uncertain. I have already begun shifting things around you, and what seemed impossible before will soon begin moving in unexpected ways. The approval attached to your pending miracle was not temporary or uncertain. Heaven already confirmed what belongs to you, and no force of darkness can permanently cancel what I have prepared. Type 1010 to claim miracles. You keep looking at the delays as proof that your prayers failed, but I want you to understand something important. Delays are not always rejection, and silence is not always absence. There were seasons when I protected you by slowing certain things down because the timing around your life was not ready yet. Some doors remained closed because hidden dangers were waiting behind them. What hurt your feelings at the time was often my protection, preserving your future from unnecessary pain. I know you became frustrated watching others move ahead while your own life seems stuck in the same painful cycle. Comparison quietly wounded your confidence, and disappointment slowly drained your excitement about the future. But your path was never designed to look exactly like anyone else's journey. I created a unique purpose for your life, and the timing connected to your breakthrough follows a different pattern than the people around you. What I am preparing for you requires patience, because lasting blessings are often built carefully instead of quickly. There were moments when you questioned your worth because rejection kept appearing in different forms. Some people failed to appreciate your kindness, your loyalty, and the love you tried to give. Others walked away from you during seasons when you needed support the most. Their absence left emotional wounds that still affect your heart today. But I need you to remember that human rejection cannot cancel divine approval over your life. The reason your heart has survived so much pain is because my hand remained over you even when you could not clearly see it. There were situations that should have broken you completely, yet somehow you kept moving forward. That strength did not come from your own power alone. I carried you through moments where your spirit was too weak to stand by itself. Even now, I am still holding you together while preparing the next chapter of your life. Type Amen if you believe your season is changing. Your miracle is not only about receiving something material, it is also about restoring the parts of your heart that became damaged through years of struggle and disappointment. I am healing emotional wounds that you rarely talk about with anyone else. I am rebuilding trust inside the places where betrayal left scars on your spirit. I am restoring peace to the mind that has been overwhelmed with fear for far too long. The blessing approaching your life will touch both your circumstances and your soul. You have cried many silent tears that nobody ever noticed. Some nights you stared into darkness, wondering if your situation would ever improve. You prayed quietly while carrying fears you did not know how to explain to other people. There were times when loneliness became so heavy that you questioned if anyone truly understood your pain. But I understood every emotion hidden inside your heart, even when words failed to describe it properly. The enemy tried to use those lonely moments to fill your mind with hopelessness. He wanted you to believe that your future carried nothing except more disappointment and waiting. That is why negative thoughts became louder whenever you tried to feel hopeful again. But tonight I am interrupting those lies because your life is still connected to purpose. Your breakthrough did not disappear during the difficult season, and your future is still filled with possibilities greater than your fears. What secret did elites use to attract wealth so easily? A simple 9-word password now leaked to the public. People are using it daily and watching money flow into their lives like never before. Scientists say it activates an ancient brain system tied directly to abundance, Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing. It's already helped thousands become debt-free in just weeks. But this breakthrough is under pressure and may disappear at any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. I need you to stop speaking defeat over yourself because your words influence your expectations. Too many times you declared failure before giving me room to move inside your situation. Fear taught you to expect disappointment before opportunities even arrived, but I am teaching your spirit how to believe again despite uncertainty. Your present condition is not the final version of your story. You are standing closer to breakthrough than you realize right now. Certain situations may still appear unfinished, but movement is already happening behind the scenes. I am opening doors quietly before they become visible publicly. Conversations are taking place that will eventually affect your future positively. The blessing connected to your life is approaching step by step, even while you continue wondering if anything is changing. There are people who secretly doubted you because they only focused on your struggles instead of your potential. They assumed your difficult season would continue forever because they could not see what heaven was preparing privately. But I specialize in surprising people who have been underestimated for too long. I can shift a person's life suddenly in ways human understanding cannot explain. The same people who ignored your tears may soon witness your restoration. You must not allow exhaustion to steal your faith now that your miracle is getting closer. The enemy attacks hardest when breakthrough approaches because he hopes fear will make people quit too soon. That is why your spirit has felt such unusual pressure lately. Darkness recognizes when heaven is preparing movement around someone's life. But greater is my power surrounding you than any fear trying to enter your thoughts. I know you are tired of carrying responsibilities while feeling emotionally drained at the same time. You tried to stay strong for others, even while your own heart quietly struggled for comfort. There were moments when you wished someone would simply remind you that everything would eventually be all right. So tonight I am reminding you personally that your story is still unfolding under my care. The difficult season you survived will not define your entire future. Your waiting period has been painful, but it has also strengthened your spirit in ways comfort never could. You learned endurance through hardship and compassion through suffering. You discovered how to pray deeply during moments when nothing else seemed stable. Even your tears became part of the preparation shaping you for the blessing ahead. Nothing you endured with faith has been wasted. Yet through every painful moment, I kept watching over your life with care that never disappeared. Even when you felt forgotten by people, you were never forgotten by me. There were moments when your prayers sounded more like exhausted whispers than confident declarations of faith. You spoke to me while trying not to cry because your heart felt overwhelmed by pressure from every direction. Some nights you wondered if your tears were reaching heaven at all. But every word you spoke in weakness still reached my ears clearly. I never ignored the pain hidden behind your quiet prayers. The reason I continue calling your attention tonight is because your spirit needs strength before your breakthrough fully arrives. Fear tried to prepare you for disappointment instead of restoration. The enemy wanted you emotionally defeated before the miracle connected to your life became visible. But I am reminding you again that what I approved cannot be permanently stolen from you. Heaven has already spoken concerning your future, and darkness does not have the final word. Type 777 to receive blessings. You have spent too much time believing your delays were proof that you failed. I need you to understand that some seasons move slowly because I am arranging things carefully beyond what human understanding can see. If certain blessings had arrived earlier, they would have collapsed under the weight of unprepared circumstances. I was protecting your future while also preparing your heart. What felt painful in the moment often carried hidden mercy that you could not recognize at the time. I know rejection wounded your spirit deeply. Some people made you feel unwanted, overlooked, or unimportant during moments when you desperately needed encouragement. Their words and actions left scars that still affect how you see yourself today. But I never defined your value by the way others treated you. Human rejection does not cancel divine purpose. Your worth has always been established by my love instead of other people's opinions. There are blessings attached to your life that will arrive unexpectedly because I want you to recognize that my favor still surrounds you. The breakthrough approaching your situation is not based only on your strength or perfection. It is based on my grace, my timing, and my decision to restore what pain tried to destroy. I can open doors nobody expected. I can create opportunities where none previously existed. I can bring healing into places that looked permanently broken. You keep worrying about how everything will work out, but I need you to stop carrying tomorrow's weight before tomorrow even arrives. Anxiety has exhausted your mind for far too long. You replay possible problems repeatedly while forgetting that I already stand ahead of you in every future situation. Nothing approaching your life catches me by surprise. I already know the answers before the problems fully appear. Type 1111 if you walk by faith. The enemy tried to convince you that your story would remain trapped in disappointment forever. That is why discouragement kept returning whenever you tried to feel hopeful again. Darkness wanted you emotionally drained because hopeless people stop expecting miracles. But your life is not abandoned, and your future is not cursed. I am still leading you toward restoration even when your emotions struggle to believe it fully. You have survived situations that should have completely destroyed your peace. There were seasons when pressure surrounded you from every direction at once, yet somehow you continued moving forward one day at a time. That endurance was not accidental. I strengthened you during moments when your own energy was gone. I carried you through storms that looked impossible to survive. Even now, my hand remains over your life, protecting you in ways you do not fully see. Why are thousands suddenly becoming financially free? Because they discovered a 9-word wealth password hidden in neuroscience research. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected money, cleared debts, and new opportunities. Some say the results feel almost divine. Scientists confirm it activates a powerful, ancient part of your brain linked to wealth and abundance. But now that it's leaked, it won't stay available for long. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. I know your confidence became weaker after repeated disappointments. You started doubting yourself because too many things failed to happen the way you expected. But your identity is not built on temporary setbacks. You are still chosen, still loved, and still connected to purpose greater than your present circumstances. Pain may have shaken your confidence, but it did not remove my calling from your life. There are people who secretly assumed your season would never change. They looked at your struggles and decided your future had no possibility left. But I often move most powerfully in the lives of people who have been underestimated for too long. I delight in restoring hope where others only expected failure. The same individuals who doubted your future may soon witness the favor and peace I place over your life. I am also healing your heart from silent disappointments you rarely discuss with anyone. Some wounds were caused by betrayal, while others came from dreams that never happened the way you hoped. Those painful experiences slowly built fear inside your emotions. You became afraid to expect too much because disappointment hurt too deeply before. But I am teaching your spirit how to trust again without being controlled by fear. The miracle connected to your life is not only about external blessings, it is also about internal restoration. I am calming the mind that became overwhelmed with worry. I am strengthening the heart that became exhausted from emotional battles. I am rebuilding peace inside the soul that spent too many nights carrying silent pain. The breakthrough approaching you will touch areas deeper than material circumstances alone. You are entering a season where certain burdens will begin lifting from your shoulders little by little. The heaviness you carried will not remain forever. I am creating movement around situations that once felt permanently stuck. I am opening pathways where confusion previously blocked your progress. Even though everything has not changed yet, heaven is already moving quietly around your future. Do not allow fear to make permanent decisions for your life. Too many times you stepped back from opportunities because anxiety convinced you failure was inevitable. But I did not create you to live trapped inside constant fear and self-doubt. I created you to walk with courage, knowing my presence surrounds you through every challenge. Your future still contains possibilities greater than your current worries. I know you became tired of waiting for answers while carrying responsibilities that felt too heavy for one person alone. Some days you smiled for others while privately fighting emotional exhaustion inside your heart. You wished someone would simply remind you that your pain would not last forever. So tonight I am reminding you personally that your suffering has an expiration date. The difficult chapter you survived is not the conclusion of your story. What I approved for your life still belongs to you. The delays, tears, and disappointments did not cancel the blessing attached to your future. I am still capable of turning situations around suddenly. I am still opening doors that human effort alone could never unlock. I am still restoring hearts that became weary from long seasons of struggle. I know you have grown weary from carrying disappointments that seem to repeat over and over again, but the season ahead of you will not mirror the painful chapters behind you forever. You have spent too much time believing that your struggles represented the end of your story. Fear kept telling you that your opportunities had already passed and that your best days belonged to other people instead of you. But I never created your life to end in hopelessness and emotional exhaustion. I planted purpose inside you before you ever faced your first battle. The storms you survived were never meant to destroy your destiny. They were preparing your spirit for the breakthrough that is now drawing closer. There were many moments when you questioned why life became so heavy while you were trying your best to stay faithful. You kept praying while carrying wounds nobody else fully understood. Some pain came from rejection, while other pain came from delays that made you doubt whether your prayers still mattered. Yet, through every difficult season, I remained beside you, protecting your future in ways your eyes could not recognize. Even when silence surrounded you, my care over your life never disappeared. Type 222 if you trust God. The enemy tried to make you believe that your waiting season meant you were forgotten. That is why discouragement became louder during quiet moments when you were alone with your thoughts. Darkness wanted hopelessness to grow inside your spirit before your blessing arrived. But I am speaking directly to your heart again, because what I promised you still remains alive. Your breakthrough was not cancelled during the delay. Heaven still remembers every prayer connected to your future. I know your confidence weakened after repeated disappointments. You became afraid to expect too much because previous heartbreak left emotional scars inside your spirit. You started protecting yourself from future pain by lowering your expectations. But I did not create you to live trapped inside constant fear and emotional defense. I created you to walk in peace, knowing my hand remains over your future even during uncertain seasons. Your life is still connected to purpose greater than the struggles surrounding you right now. There are blessings approaching your life that will arrive in ways you never expected. Some opportunities will appear suddenly after long periods of silence. Certain answers will come when you least expect them, because I want you to recognize my power instead of relying only on human understanding. I am able to create movement in situations that looked completely stuck. I can restore relationships, open doors, heal emotional wounds, and rebuild confidence all at once. Nothing about your situation is beyond my ability to transform. You keep focusing on everything that has not happened yet, while forgetting how many times I already carried you through impossible seasons. There were moments when you thought you would completely break emotionally, yet somehow you survived another day. There were nights when fear overwhelmed your mind, yet you still woke up and kept moving forward. That endurance came from my strength, surrounding your life, even when your own energy felt gone. I never stopped holding you together during your weakest moments. Type 1212 if you trust in Jesus. Why are over 19,547 people suddenly attracting unexpected wealth? Because they started using a strange 9-word password discovered in neuroscience research. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected bank deposits, cleared debts, and upgraded lives. Scientists say it activates a 150 million year old part of your brain that controls abundance. Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing. This password was quietly used by elites until a neuroscientist leaked it. Now it's spreading fast and could be taken down any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. Some of the people who walked away from you were never assigned to remain in your future permanently. Their absence hurt deeply because you love them sincerely, but not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay forever. Certain separations protected your peace, even when they broke your heart temporarily. I removed some individuals because their presence would have damaged the next chapter I am preparing for you. What felt like painful loss sometimes carried hidden protection you could not understand at the time. I know loneliness became one of your greatest emotional battles. There were moments when you felt emotionally invisible, even while surrounded by other people. You carried silent tears because you feared nobody would truly understand what you were going through inside. But I understood every hidden emotion before you even spoke about it. I stayed near to you during every lonely night when discouragement tried to convince you that nobody cared anymore. My presence never left your side, even when your emotions struggled to feel it. The miracle connected to your life is not small, and that is one reason the battle became so intense around your mind and emotions. The enemy often attacks hardest before breakthrough because he fears what your testimony will inspire in other hurting people. He wanted you distracted before your restoration appeared. He wanted fear to become stronger than faith inside your spirit. But tonight I am reminding you that darkness cannot stop what heaven already approved. You are entering a season where emotional healing will begin restoring the joy you thought was permanently lost. The heaviness in your mind will slowly be replaced with peace. The constant anxiety you carried will no longer control every part of your daily life. I am rebuilding strength inside the places where exhaustion weakened your spirit. What pain tried to destroy inside you will not remain broken forever because my restoration reaches deeper than human understanding. I need you to stop condemning yourself over previous mistakes and failures. The enemy keeps replaying your past because he hopes shame will keep you emotionally trapped. But I already knew every weakness you would face long before you reached this season of your life. My mercy did not disappear because you struggled. My love for you did not fade because you experienced moments of weakness and confusion. You are still deeply valued in my eyes, despite everything that tried to make you feel unworthy. There are conversations taking place right now that will eventually impact your future positively. Doors are quietly opening behind the scenes even while you continue wondering if anything is changing. I am positioning the right people around your path at the correct time. I am creating opportunities that will help move your life forward into greater stability and peace. Even though you cannot yet see the full picture, heaven is already arranging details in your favor. Do not let temporary frustration cause you to abandon your faith before the answer arrives. Too many people quit believing during the final moments before breakthrough appears. The enemy hopes exhaustion will make you walk away from hope completely. But I brought you here tonight because your spirit needed confirmation before the blessing fully arrives. I needed to remind you that your waiting season is not permanent. You have survived difficult chapters that could have completely destroyed your confidence, yet you are still here listening with an open heart. That alone proves, my hand remains over your life. Even after disappointment, betrayal, delays, and emotional exhaustion, something inside your spirit still reaches toward hope. That remaining faith matters more than you realize. I can build restoration from even the smallest spark of trust still living inside your heart. Do not fear the future the way you once did, because I am already standing ahead of you in every tomorrow. I know the opportunities coming toward your life, and I know the blessings prepared with your name attached to them. The approval connected to your pending miracle still stands firmly in heaven. What I promised you has not expired, and what I planned for your future has not been forgotten. You have been through seasons where disappointment arrived so often that hope started feeling dangerous to hold on to. Every time you tried to expect something good, another setback appeared and wounded your confidence again. The enemy used those repeated disappointments to make you fear the future before it even arrived. He wanted you convinced that your life would always remain trapped in delay and emotional exhaustion. But tonight I am reminding you that temporary suffering does not have authority over your permanent future. There is still a blessing with your name attached to it. There is still restoration prepared for the areas of your life that pain tried to destroy. I did not bring you this far just to abandon you at the edge of breakthrough. The approval connected to your pending miracle remains active in heaven. Even now, movement is happening around situations you believed would never change. Type Amen if you believe God still has a plan for you. I know you have cried private tears that nobody around you fully understands. Some pain came from betrayal, while other pain came from watching opportunities disappear at the last moment. You tried to recover emotionally after each disappointment, but some wounds stayed longer than expected. Certain experiences caused fear to grow inside your spirit, little by little. But I am healing the heart that life kept trying to harden. The enemy hoped bitterness would replace your faith after everything you endured. He wanted you angry, hopeless, and emotionally distant from me. That is why negative thoughts increased whenever you attempted to believe again. Darkness feared what would happen once your confidence returned. But your spirit still belongs to me, and I am still guiding your future carefully, even when confusion surrounds your mind. Can 9 simple words really change your financial life? More than 19,000 people have already used it to erase debt and unlock a life of wealth, freedom, and peace. Brain experts were shocked when they discovered this password works up to 20x faster than the law of attraction. People are repeating it daily and watching money flow like water into their lives. Some even believe the results are so powerful, it feels divine. But this breakthrough is already under legal pressure and could disappear any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. You keep asking why the waiting season became so long, and I need you to understand something important tonight. Delays do not always mean denial. There were things happening behind the scenes that you could not see yet. I was arranging details, protecting opportunities, and positioning certain people before releasing what belongs to you. Some blessings require preparation, because I want them to last instead of disappearing quickly. There were relationships I allowed to end because they were damaging your peace more than you realized. Some people only supported you when your life seemed easy and beneficial to them. When hardship arrived, they disappeared and left emotional wounds behind. Their absence hurt deeply because you cared sincerely about them. But I removed certain individuals so they would not interfere with the next chapter I am preparing for your life. Type 1111 if you walk by faith. You are not as abandoned as your emotions sometimes make you feel. I remained beside you during every lonely night when fear whispered that nobody cared anymore. I saw you trying to stay calm while anxiety quietly filled your thoughts. I watched you fight tears in silence because you did not want others to see how tired you really felt. My presence never left you during those difficult moments, even when your heart struggled to feel comfort. The breakthrough connected to your life is larger than you currently understand. It is not only about changing external situations, it is also about restoring the strength, peace, and confidence that years of struggle slowly weakened inside your spirit. I am rebuilding the parts of you that disappointment tried to destroy. I am renewing hope in areas where fear became stronger than expectation. Your healing matters just as much as the blessing itself. You have survived emotional storms that should have completely broken your spirit. There were moments when the pressure became so intense that you questioned how much more you could endure. Yet somehow you kept moving forward even while feeling exhausted. That endurance came from me, strengthening you during moments when your own strength felt gone. I carried you through seasons that would have destroyed you without my protection surrounding your life. Do not allow comparison to continue stealing your peace. Too many times you looked at other people's success and wondered why your own journey felt slower and more painful. You questioned your worth because someone else seemed to receive blessings faster than you. But your story follows a different path because your purpose is unique. I know exactly when to release what belongs to you, and my timing over your life has not failed. Some of the doors that closed in front of you were actually protecting you from future heartbreak. At the time, you only saw rejection and disappointment, but I saw dangers hidden behind opportunities that looked attractive on the surface. What frustrated you then will eventually make sense later. One day you will realize that certain unanswered prayers were acts of mercy instead of punishment. I was preserving your future while you struggled to understand the silence. The enemy has spent too much time convincing you that your mistakes disqualified you from blessings. Shame kept replaying old failures inside your mind, hoping guilt would stop you from expecting goodness again. But my mercy is greater than your worst moments. I already knew every weakness you would face before you ever reached this season. Your failures did not surprise me, and they did not cancel my love for you. Type yes to affirm your restoration. You are entering a season where peace will slowly begin replacing emotional heaviness. The anxiety that followed you everywhere will not control your life forever. I am calming the storms inside your mind before the breakthrough fully appears around your circumstances. Your spirit needs healing after carrying stress and disappointment for so long. I am restoring balance inside the heart that became exhausted from constant emotional battles. There are opportunities quietly moving toward your life right now. Certain conversations are happening that will eventually create change around your future. I am positioning people who will support your growth instead of draining your peace. I am opening pathways that once looked impossible to reach. Even though your eyes cannot fully see everything yet, heaven is already arranging details in your favor. You keep fearing that time is running out, but I am not limited by human deadlines. I can restore lost years faster than you imagine. I can rebuild dreams that seemed permanently broken. I can create sudden opportunities after long periods of waiting and silence. Your future is not ruined because of delayed seasons. What I planned for your life still carries purpose and possibility. I know your heart became tired from carrying responsibilities while secretly struggling emotionally. You spent so much time trying to survive that you forgot what peace even feels like. Some days you functioned outwardly while inwardly feeling completely drained. But this season of constant emotional survival will not last forever. I am bringing rest to the soul that has been fighting too many silent battles alone. Do not stop believing now that breakthrough is drawing closer. The enemy attacks hardest near moments of restoration because he fears what your testimony will inspire in others. He wanted you distracted before the blessing arrived. He wanted hopelessness to become permanent inside your thoughts. But I am reminding you again tonight that your life is still under my care and protection. My child, I know you have reached moments where your heart felt too tired to keep hoping. You carried disappointments for so long that your spirit began expecting silence instead of answers. There were days when you woke up already emotionally exhausted because the pressure surrounding your life never seemed to fully disappear. Yet even during those difficult mornings, I remained near to you, watching over every detail of your journey. I never stopped protecting you, even when your mind became filled with fear and uncertainty. You have spent too much time blaming yourself for seasons that were never entirely your fault. The enemy kept replaying past mistakes inside your thoughts because he wanted shame to weaken your confidence. He hoped guilt would convince you that blessings no longer belong to you. But I am reminding you tonight that my mercy is greater than your failures. Your worst moments did not erase the purpose I placed over your life before you were even born. What if attracting wealth didn't require hard work, just the right words? This forgotten prayer is now transforming ordinary people into debt-free, financially free individuals. Scientists say each of these 9 words activates a hidden abundance center deep in your brain. People are using it from home and seeing results in just weeks. It was never meant for the public, and now that it's out, the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. There are blessings approaching you that will not arrive through human effort alone. I am moving in places where your hands cannot reach, and opening doors your own strength could never unlock. Some situations looked permanently closed because I was waiting for the right moment to intervene. Heaven has been arranging details carefully while you struggled to understand the delays. The approval connected to your miracle still stands firmly over your future. Type 1010 to claim miracles. You keep looking at your current struggles as if they define the rest of your story, but this painful chapter is not permanent. I know your emotions became overwhelmed after facing disappointment so many times in a row. Every delay weakened your confidence, little by little, until fear started speaking louder than faith inside your mind. But I did not bring you through years of struggle just to leave you without restoration. The tears you cried in private were seen clearly in heaven. There were nights when loneliness became almost unbearable for you. You wished someone would sit beside you and remind you that everything would eventually become all right again. Instead, many people failed to notice how deeply exhausted your spirit had become. Some only saw your outer strength while remaining unaware of the emotional battles hidden underneath your smile. But I saw every silent tear and every quiet prayer whispered through pain. The enemy tried to convince you that your future carried nothing except more waiting and disappointment. That is why hopeless thoughts attacked your mind during moments when you tried to believe again. Darkness feared what would happen once your faith became strong again. But your life is not abandoned, and your purpose has not expired. I am still guiding you toward healing, peace, and unexpected favor, even while confusion surrounds your present circumstances. You must stop measuring your future by your current emotional condition. Pain distorted your perspective for too long and made you believe nothing good could happen anymore. But your feelings do not control my ability to restore your life. I can change situations suddenly after long periods of silence. I can create opportunities where none previously existed. I can bring joy back into the same heart that became tired from years of emotional pressure. Type 222 if you trust God.